What's going on, Lawrence Sarge? Where are you?
Look, Lawrence Sarge is vibing out. He's happy to be here for another week.
I guess so.
Hey, Shaq! This time, you need to catch the ball. I've been throwing it for weeks. Ready? Here we go. Go deep.
Got it. I got it.
Hey, you gonna introduce yourself?
Lawrence Sarge.
This is Lawrence Sarge.
And
Okay.
good old Shaq.
Good old Shaq. It only took 45 seconds into the show for Lawrence Sarge to introduce himself. But welcome to the show, everybody. This is Football Psych, and it is the Commanders edition. And today we have so much for you because this is the calm before the storm. We have free agency coming up March 10th. Before you know what the draft's going to be here. And there's so much buzz going on around the league. And we are going to get into it and see what we have going on. So, key dates. Right now, you're going to hear of players that are going to get re-signed. The closer that we get to March 10th, the more teams are going to be signing their own players to prevent them from getting on to free agency. Right now, the NFL Combine at the time of this recording is going on. We got so much to talk about that. Shaq's watching that thing live, so we're going to get some reports out of Shaq on that.
Oh, yeah.
And before you know it, off-season programs are going to begin, and then in Green Bay will be the 2025 NFL Draft.
I wonder why they picked Green Bay. Of all the places, I wonder why they picked that.
After Detroit last year, right? Why would they pick the same conference, right?
Yeah. Well, it's not only that, but Detroit Stadium is not really built for that. If it makes sense, Lambeau Field is one of the oldest stadiums. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I wonder what made them pick that one.
Well, they didn't do it.
Well, they've never done it.
Well, in Detroit, they didn't do it in the stadium either. They did it outside.
Yeah. But, I mean, even though Green Bay is a small community, y'all ever been to Green Bay? Green Bay is not a big city at all.
Shaq.
Not by any means.
Neither is Detroit. I'm going to tell you something.
Yeah. I know.
People showed up from all over the country. They loved it. Green Bay is going to be a huge success. It's a great move. I wish they'd have taken it to a different area than, in the same division, right?
So this is what I'm going to say about this, right? So Detroit has a metropolitan area. They have a downtown area, right? Detroit has the hotel accommodations from
you're right.
From Saginaw to, like, you know what I'm saying, all the way down the highway.
Smaller.
Green Bay is smaller. The accommodations, like, you look outside the stadium and you got businesses, but it's a bunch of neighborhoods.
Yeah. No, you got a great point there. They have the infrastructure to support the hundreds of, because Coach Mike and I were shocked, literally shocked at how many people showed up to the draft last year.
I mean, if you think about it, it's like the equivalent of having the Super Bowl. I mean, not the Super Bowl, but having a draft in like Raleigh, North Carolina.
Yeah.
It's like the equivalent of that.
Yeah, you're right.
Well, what we do know is the NFL does have a committee that goes in there and they map it out. They also rent out areas that they block off. They did that in Detroit. They're going to do that. I think the overall intent is to rotate it every year to a new location. Before it was always in New York. Now they've taken the draft on the road, and I think because of the popularity of having it go to new locations and get people to come to those cities, and the money that comes with that, and everybody's going to want to come to their city.
Yep.
You got to think about, like, Green Bay is a place that you're never going to have a Super Bowl. So, this is an opportunity to bring money to the city.
We can never say never. I'm gonna tell you why, because they've had them there before. So we can never say never, right?
Yeah.
And they had a Super Bowl.
They have to build a dome under today's rules.
We just had one in New York.
Yeah.
We had one in New York.
I agree with both you. Historically, we had one. In the modern day NFL, probably not likely unless you have a dome.
Yeah. Now I'm talking about now in the 2020s, but we just recently had one in the 2010s in New York. We did in the outdoor field, and that was the last one since then.
Yeah, it seems like the NFL wants dome.
They want a fair weather football.
Good football. Hey, these tight ends are slow.
All right, well, we will get to it.
Even the combine, he's like, he's looking on his side. That's why you see him looking. He's live streaming to see him. What are these people doing in the combine?
Okay, good news around the league and so forth that impacts the Commanders here. We have the status of Bobby Wagner that's becoming more and more of a premier issue, mainly because Carroll put it out there saying, "Hey, I'd like to remind everybody that he's a free agent, and so if he hits free agency, there could be a Pete Carroll reunion and that brings him to the Raiders, and we could lose him. So we have 2 weeks on the clock between now and the 10th of March to get him signed to our deal, or he will walk. And if he walks, he most likely will be signed elsewhere."
Yeah. He will. And again,
you think he'll walk?
No, yeah. If they don't re-sign him, I can tell you right now, a reunion with Pete Carroll, he would be in the cards, or Tampa Bay. Tampa Bay has been heavy in the talk.
Check. Why wouldn't the Commanders re-sign Bobby Wagner for a year deal? Why?
Well, I'm gonna tell you right now. This draft class, heavy defense. Defensive linebackers are deep in this class. Defensive backs are deep in this draft. Right?
We don't have any draft picks.
No, I understand that, right? But they are deep in this draft. The free agency, linebackers are deep in free agency right now. Defensive linemen are deep in right here. So we can go get a rookie and a younger veteran and let a 35, 36-year-old Bobby Wagner walk.
A healthy Bobby Wagner who's played a year with the team, knows the defense, and is a locker room staple, the captain of the team. You're going to let that guy go to go get someone you don't know.
So
it might be a better value, but you're going to do that? Really?
So part of this is not necessarily letting a guy go as much as where does he want to go. Yeah. He is a free agent. He does not have to re-sign with the team. There's nothing holding him in Washington. And I will tell you what I know about Bobby Wagner, right? He played for the Rams. He played for Seattle all those years. One of his biggest gripes and complaints about coming to Washington and being on the East Coast is he's a huge basketball fan. And he goes, basketball games come on way too freaking late on the East Coast. I got to go to bed, and I want to watch basketball.
Yeah.
So there might be a part of him when it comes to quality of life who wouldn't mind going back on the West Coast.
I'm just sorry.
And then to go to the Raiders, where he can also be able to watch basketball at a reasonable hour, might be appealing to the guy.
He just went to the conference championship. You don't think he wants a taste of that again?
Well, you think about this though, right? And he goes to Tampa Bay. He goes to Tampa Bay. Tampa Bay is a winning organization, stuff like that, right? Where he may be the missing piece. Oakland is going to be somewhat in a rebuild, but they have a new head coach that's going to bring a new, different kind of fire there. Now, don't take this off the table. He may go back to Seattle for one last year and retire. Spend most of his career there. And Seattle
Why would he change pace when he's already settled in here? He's on a winning team, a conference champion, and he knows the defense, and he's the top dog. He's the top dog. So why are you going to give up to the top dog in your last year?
Hear me out loud, Sarge. In Seattle, if Bobby Wagner was on that defense in Seattle, they would have been in the playoffs last year. He was the missing piece. The middle of their defense was weak.
A good argument.
Yeah.
I'll tell you.
He's with the Commanders.
Yeah.
He's the conference championship. He's settled in.
Or he'll be rolling dice with Pete Carroll in Las Vegas.
Yeah. Unknown. He knows the game here. He's got to be thinking in his head, I got one more year in me. I got one more year. I'm healthy. I got another year. Where do I want to put my stake down and say?
Well, I personally would love to see him stay in Washington, but we'll see. We'll see, because Adam Peters has not re-signed any of our players yet. I'm pretty sure he's still doing all of his scrubs. He's trying to figure out his cap and who's available out there, and having all the scouting department meetings and blah, 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 and trying to figure this thing out. It's
well, I can captain. He's not going anywhere.
I can tell you right now, after this combine,
We'll get to the combine. All right. So another one. Hey, Large Shark, these are your slides. So tell us about what you got over here about.
How did you get I love it. You got to send me links. So folks, just what you don't know is I'm crazy. I'm so crazy. I cannot find helmets for teams that don't have a white background. But Coach Mad Mike schools me every week and corrects my slide because I have slides with helmets that have white backgrounds. I can't figure it out.
It literally takes 5 seconds. It literally takes 5 seconds.
Clearly. All right. So here's the latest news from Adam Peters. Adam Peters says we'll be active in free agency because we have to be just to field the team, which is true.
Yep.
Just to field the team, they got to be active. But a lot of those will look to bring back guys we had last year, which is also true. I totally agree with them. So, the Commanders, the biggest news this week.
Well, before we go on to that, let's talk about this a little bit.
All
so
right.
the big reason why Adam Peters says that to fill the team is mainly because of what he did last year. What he did last year was he had to completely change the culture and rebuild an organization. A lot of people were out the door, and when he brought people in the door, he basically brought people in to prove themselves. They were on prove deals, so he signed a lot of one-year contracts. So we had, depending on who counts, I counted 31 by name. A lot of people are reporting 28 free agents.
Yeah, I thought it was 28.
Yeah, a lot of people say 28. I counted them; they were 31, but everybody reports 28.
Wow, 31.
But when you think about it, even if it's 28, that is more than 50% of a 53-man roster.
Yeah.
So that is a
huge
amount. And so, yeah, of course, he's got to be active in free agency just because of that. You don't have the number of draft picks. You got to do it. But what I don't think he'll do is I don't think he'll make major splashes. I think he's going to bargain shop like he did last year.
Yeah. Yeah, so, and count on the draft.
The backside of that comment is the Commanders this week, unbelievably, gave the green light for Allen, our star guy, our number one guy, to go shop a deal. Go ahead and go see if you can get a trade. If it happens, that gives us $16.3 million in cap space, which means, counter to what you're saying, Coach, that Adam could go out and get a splash deal like a Myles Garrett or someone else that's high up. Freeing that much cap space could open that up for us.
So not necessarily. I gotta stop it right there. So $16.3 million is his cap hit. It's not what would be available in cap space. He will count over $6 million in dead cap because of that. And so we will get a $6 million cap penalty. So you're really only looking at freeing up about $10.3 million of available cap space off of that. And that is not enough to sign a Myles Garrett. So like there's going to have to be a lot more that goes into the play and the calculus of that. Plus a guy like Myles Garrett would be a trade to begin with. So you're talking about not only signing a big lucrative contract, but you're talking about giving up draft capital on top of it. That is not an easy do. To me, I would love nothing more to have Myles Garrett in a Commander's uniform. I just personally don't see it happening.
Me neither. And so, me neither. I don't see it happening. But I'm gonna tell you right now, one thing even with that $10 million, we'll take the $6 million hit. But a trade with John Allen going elsewhere, which right now he's being tied to the Vikings. John Allen going to the Vikings, we're going to receive draft picks back. So draft capital. We would take the contract.
There's a bonus in there, right? There's a bonus, right?
And they have defensive backs that we can use. Him or defensive back and draft picks. Like you feel what I'm saying? So there is space and room for growth. He's not going to walk away and we don't get any draft picks. Not futuristically this year.
Yeah, he's on their contract. So if he goes anywhere else, it will be via trade.
Yeah, yep.
Interesting. Just interesting. All right, the next one up is T. Higgins is still in the news. He's big time in the news, and still is Cooper Kupp. They're still in the news to be like top targets for the Commanders.
So what I think is going to happen with T. Higgins, and I'm interested in your thoughts, Shaq, as well, is I believe T. Higgins is going to get franchise tagged by the Bengals. I don't believe he's going to walk out the door.
Well, I don't think that. I'm going to tell you right now. I don't think that. I'm going to tell you where I think he's going to go. Because Amari Cooper's going to walk. I think he's going to go to Buffalo.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow, that'd be interesting.
Why would he leave his hometown?
I'm going to tell you right now, I think he's going to go because they have the money to pay him. Their roster's already set. they let Amari Cooper walk. They need to fill that they need to fill that void.
Oh yeah, of course.
And so I think a place
Oh,
like
that would be a huge move.
yes, Buffalo. If he doesn't wind up in Buffalo, I'm gonna tell you another city. They may potentially land him. Right? They may potentially land him. Not the Rams. Maybe they're in the talks, whatever case may be. But Seattle is another city. They may land him. You know what I'm saying? They have all the pieces there to win. They just need somebody on the other side of DK Metcalf. Smith and Jigba has been good. You know what I'm saying? What's his name? Older guy. I forgot his name. But Smith and Jigba has been good. DK Metcalf has been good. But you bring a T. Higgins into that fold, a three-headed monster the way Geno Smith has been playing. You know what I'm saying? But right now, I can see him moving and playing in Buffalo.
Surprisingly, Metcalf was hot in the news last week, and he's not anywhere in the news this week.
Yeah, because I believe that they were like looking at him as possible a trade candidate as well. For DJ Metcalf. So I do think it's interesting, Cooper Kupp. I think for a lot of teams when they look at Cooper, I mean, obviously has a stellar background. There's a lot to be excited about there. It's just that I think teams are going to want to give him a physical.
Oh, well, you have to.
And he's another guy, right? He's another guy. He just wants to win again, right? Mm-hmm. So I can see Cooper Kupp. Cooper Kupp is not going to come to DC. I can tell you right now, if he do, he's going to get the bare minimum to come here, like the bare minimum to come.
Well, yeah, right. Yeah, he would because of his age.
He'll have better offers than that.
Yeah, he would have better offers. So I'm gonna tell you, he wants to win down, right? So why would I come to DC when I could go to Philadelphia and not have the stress on my back? Jahan Dotson, kick rocks, Jahan Dotson, Cooper Kupp, Devontae Smith, AJ Brown. Kick rocks.
Oh my God! Don't even talk. Oh my God!
No. Hear me out, though.
Don't even say that. Oh my God! Philly doesn't need that.
I'm just saying. You go to even going if T Higgins walks, they can replace him. Cooper Kupp on you know what I'm saying, on the other side, Jamar Chase. You take him, send him down. Chris Godwin walks. Put him on the other side of Michael Evans down there.
I think Cooper Kupp's value is overinflated because of his injuries.
Yes, it is.
His talent is there, but because of the injuries, I think wherever he goes, if he goes, is going to be for far less than everyone's speculating.
I think it depends on his physical, right? Because we're very quick in the league that when someone gets hurt, we're ready to write them off.
Yep.
That's like a huge mistake. People get hurt and they'll bounce back. Next thing you know, they're comeback freaking kid of the year, right? And you got it, it just happens. And the talent's there. That's them. That's why you have a medical staff, right? You go in and go, is Cooper healthy? If he's healthy, I'm willing to take a flyer on the guy. But because it's hard to find the talent.
I agree with that, right? But I feel like there are other teams that would take the chance before Washington. Houston would take the chance. Miami would take the chance. These are teams they could win.
Yeah, then the money goes up, right? The money goes up.
Minnesota would take the chance. Addison, and
I think Cooper Kupp is a better match with Jaden Daniels than any other team. It's the play style. I think that is a match made in heaven, actually.
I think he is a turf guy.
Yeah.
He's fast off turf. So he might not be the fit for Washington because I think he would be better off going to a turf team.
Somewhere in New York, one of the New York teams. Jets or the Giants.
That's a great point.
But I can tell you right now, like I said, first thing that come to my mind, even Kansas City. And first thing that comes to my mind is like he's getting to the end of his career. He wants to win. And he would take the money. He would take the money they give him to win. Kansas City would give him the money. Philly would give him the money. Like, come on, we have one more weapon to this thing. Houston would give him the money. Right now, we're not in a position. We're looking to build long term. Those teams are already set up to win now.
Yeah, there's a point there.
Yeah.
All right. So big time on the news this week. Obviously, San Francisco gave the green light to Debo. Go get your trade, buddy.
He ain't coming here.
So the rumor mill is up here. It's just like, we're getting Debo. We're getting Debo. We're getting Debo.
All right, I'm going to say it right now, Commanders fans, we are not getting Debo.
We are not.
Right? We addressed this last year when it came to Brandon Ayuk, right?
Yep.
I totally see Adam Peters picking up the phone and giving John Lynch the call because they're buddies and having a conversation. But that conversation, just like over Brandon Ayuk, is not going to go anywhere.
Yeah.
Because, listen, San Francisco is going to want a lot. And we're just not going to give a lot because Adam Peters is not going to do it. There are other receivers. This deal will not get done for Washington.
Yep.
Yeah, I have to agree. Despite all the rumor mill crap, I just don't see a deal happening.
And you'll get a little buzz because people will hear about a phone call being made, but that's not real.
And I'm gonna keep it real with you. You know where I can see him. For real, I can see him playing. I can see him in Miami, right? I can see him in Miami. I can see him in New Orleans. Kellen Moore and
especially if we get Tyreek, right? We get Tyreek, they take Debo.
No, it's not that, but it's because the coach loves calling gadget plays. Kellen Moore is a gadget play guy.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like Cliff Kingsbury does gadget plays, but he's a straight up and down the field guy. We're gonna run, we're gonna throw the ball long, we're gonna do these screen plays. Right? There's no room in the Commanders' offense for Debo Samuel.
Great point, Shaq. Great point.
It is a great point.
Yeah. So
all right, last one is there are a couple people off of Philadelphia that if we were able to get our fingers into them, might really help us on defense. First one is Josh Sweat.
I will tell you, I like the Josh Sweat idea, but I don't know if he wants to come to Washington or not. It'll be interesting to see, but I think he would be great, but I don't like signing in-conference players. I don't like signing because they never pan out. I've never really truly seen a Cowboy or Eagles player that comes to Washington that pans out.
Biatz had a great year.
Come on, Lars.
He had a good year. Come on.
Mediocre. Like he's not like a key freaking guy that works out for you or nothing like that.
Hey, Dante Fowler led the team in sacks.
Come on, Coach, come on.
I know you hate that. I know
you hate that because he's a part-time player. I
agree that's
a one-trick pony, man.
Only reason I said it because I know you hate it.
I know I hate it. I actually would trade him, man. I would trade him right now because his stock's high. Yeah. And you know who I'd trade him to? Sargent's coaching. I would trade to him in a heartbeat. I'd be like, hey, I got the perfect guy for you. And now, Lars Sargent would take the trade.
Coach, in general, I'd say that's a truism. But in reality, I'd say you're wrong.
You wouldn't trade for him.
Oh hell yeah!
I think you would trade for him. See, I told you.
No, Josh. I
trade him. I would trade him to you any day of the week.
Yeah.
Josh Sweat.
To you any day of the week.
Yeah, every day of the week I put money on him. Yeah.
Okay.
I'm just saying, Josh Sweat for John Allen don't sound bad.
That's not a bad idea, but isn't Josh Sweat a free agent? So we don't have to trade.
We don't have to trade, but I'll pick him up. But the most important free agent on the defense you won't have on there is Zach Vaughn. Zach Vaughn is going to come with a price, but if we let Bobby Wagner go, he will automatically fill that gap.
All right. Well, wait a minute. Let's talk about Milton Williams. Okay. Who's not in the news, but he's up, and he's a strong DT.
He is. He had a good year.
He had a great year.
Yeah. He had a good year, man, for sure. So he would be a good. Again, we talking about
those are pickups we could make, which would improve the team drastically.
Josh Sweat is going to come with a price.
The problem about
we should pay the price.
The problem with getting any defensive tackle into this team is that they're going to be going into a rotational system because we have Johnny Noon and we have Deron Payne already. And that is not ideal for a top defensive tackle when they look at the team. They want to come in, they want to start right away. So they're going to be like, why would I go to Washington? What you want is a second tier, hungry kind of defensive tackle that's going to be extremely productive that you could rotate in, but is not going to be disgruntled about having to rotate in.
So, like somebody a little bit older, like Sheldon Richardson. Somebody a little bit older,
Sheldon
like
Richardson,
Sheldon Richardson. Somebody a little bit older like that.
Yeah, exactly. There's guys like that out there that you can get on a bargain deal that would be perfect for Washington. Because we have so many other needs. I wouldn't necessarily go after Milton.
Speaking of which, it's not on the rumor wire, but I will tell you right now, the lost tackle is sitting on my couch.
You come real cheap.
He said, "I'm not going to be the combine. I'm not doing that. I'm going to be a free agent. I'm going to be a walk-on, but I'm in training." He's there. And you don't see anything in the rumor mill about offensive tackles.
Well, you heard it right here first, everybody. Football psych. The lost tackles out there. He's on the free agency wire.
Let's go. We need him on the roster.
I'll just tell you, I've taken over coaching responsibilities for him. I've got his workout plan for him. I've got him on a diet because he gained a few pounds.
Yeah,
you gained a few pounds,
like a few too many.
He's on the large sergeant diet.
You did. You did. Be quiet. I got him in a correct diet, and we're going to see if he makes it this year. We're going to try to walk on.
So here's some other things that I found around the news that I kind of want to share with is that the Eagles came out and actually said this, which was shocking to me, that they would have that they would not in any way allow the Commanders to trade for Myles Garrett. I'm just like, well, how would you stop that? But the Eagles general manager basically came out and said, like, we're going to probably look for a pass rusher if we lose Josh Sweat, right? And if it came to it where Myles Garrett was really available from the Browns, and the Browns was really going to put him up there, that the Eagles would go get him just to prevent the Commanders from having him.
Good move.
I mean, it sounds like real competition. The spirit of competition is back. It would sound like to me.
I like those division rivalry things going on too.
Well, just like they doing that, we can go get Hassan Reddick.
Yep, we sure could.
We sure could. And that's gonna be another problem. Like even if say they do get Myles Garrett or we get Myles Garrett, Hassan Reddick is still gonna be out there. They let Josh Sweat walk. Hassan Reddick is still gonna be there. So, man, look, it's about to be a dirty game in this offseason.
Oh, Jack, I think you're on to something right there, my friend. Friend, I think you're on to something right there.
Yep.
Right. So we already talked about Jonathan Allen, so we'll keep going. But like one of the things I caught on to was Adam Peters not being so desperate this offseason like many people think. I would agree with that comment. Adam Peters is a cool cat. I think he's going to be bargain shopping. If you think that he's going to go out there and make major splashes and reach for people, he's not going to do that.
Coach, I disagree. We're going to have one major splash.
If he doesn't do that,
we're going to have one major splash. One. That's my prediction. Call me when I'm wrong.
How would you define major splash?
Yeah, like who?
A big freaking deal where we have to spend a crap ton of money. He's going to make a splash to get someone.
Who?
Don't know. I don't know. I can't read the man's mind, but I'm telling you, we got the money. He's making a splash play.
Let's
play.
So let's narrow it down then. Since we can't name a who, what position? We can't name a name right now. What position do you think you're gonna make the splash in?
If I had my money today, it would be Myles Garrett.
Yeah, I would say no. It's not happening.
But I don't think that's happening. But listen, mark my words. He's got the money. Money is not the issue for us. He is going to make a splash play for somebody. Watch.
Well, I think money is always an issue. As a guy who watches salary caps and stuff, money is always an issue. Because to me, I'm a huge fan and a huge proponent of having a very solid, well-rounded football team.
Yeah.
Right. And when you start doing that and you start paying $8 million to this guy, these aren't splash deals, but $7 million for this guy, $9 million for this guy, $10 million like what we did when we brought in
Adam Peters.
It adds up.
10 mil. Watch. Adam Peters will make a deal for 10 mil to bring someone in.
That's not a splash move.
That's not a splash. We talking about over $20 million.
Over $20 million is a splash move.
That's a splash.
You say 20 million is a splash?
Yes.
Over 20 million.
All key wide receivers, defensive ends, cornerbacks, quarterbacks are like up at a 40, 50 million range.
Fine.
Any key splash guy,
$20 million deal out of our $100 million bank. Going to be done. One splash deal. I predict
who that might be.
Yeah, I mean, I can't see
when you got $100 million with Allen going, you got $100 million basically. You're very close to $100 million.
I just
make one splash deal.
Especially like on the defensive side of the ball. Like, wait till we get to my slide and I'll start talking about this defensive line because right now this draft class is full of defensive men and defensive linemen that have been showing out. So it's going to have to be on the offensive side of the ball, and we're not going to pay T. Higgins. Chris Godwin is not worth $20 million a year, right? So we're not going to pay Cooper Kupp.
Yes, he is.
Chris Godwin is not worth $20 million a year, man.
He is. You know he is.
Who you want to pay?
Maybe, but not 20.
Not 20.
You want to pay it? No. Is he worth it? Yeah. No. Chris Godwin on the Commanders? Are you kidding me?
No, I wouldn't pay it.
Wouldn't pay it. So it has to be on the offensive side of the ball. Unless we made a big move with Marshawn Lattimore, made a big move with him, bringing him in, right? So it got to be in that front seven, somewhere in there.
Yeah.
So it has to be somewhere in that front seven where we're gonna make the splash, right? Mm-hmm. If we're going to do it on the defensive side of the ball, which I certainly doubt is going to happen, because I'm telling you right now, this draft with linebackers and defensive tackle, this draft class is loaded.
So one of the things that another reason why I kind of say like I'm not sure we would make a huge splash is because of this, and it's really those two comments that are in the middle. First, we just talked about that Adam Peters is not going to be desperate. I wasn't sure about it. I didn't know Adam Peters last year. I know Adam Peters this year. I study Adam Peters all year because I love watching general managers, and I poo-pooed on him initially, but he impressed the living crap out of me how he built his team.
He did.
Taking a 4-win team and turning into a 12-win team and taking us to an NFC championship game.
Yep.
And he played it cool. No major splashes. Hey, I'm going to go out there and bargain shop. I'm going to build a football team and it works together. Here's another thing that's in his hip pocket, though, this year is the players have spoken. They had a survey of NFL players asking, who do you think's the best coach in the National Football League? And the person who came out number one on that survey was Dan Quinn. I don't necessarily agree with that, but that's what the players said.
Yeah, that's crazy.
And if the players think that, then there's going to be more players who are going to want to come to this team, and not necessarily for a splash deal, but because they're going to be like, I just want to play for Dan Quinn. Those guys are out there.
I want to be on a winning program, a program that's looking up with a coach that can win. Yeah.
You see the look on my face. Even with this season, I'm still not sold on Dan Quinn. I told you he's only good for one season. And he's only good for one season.
I agree.
And he's only good for one season. In Atlanta, he was good for one season. In Dallas, he was good for one season as the DC. He's only good for one season. Next year, we're going to see a decline. I'm telling you. Because he's not good for more than one season.
I'm going to stick with my prediction. My prediction for next year is 9 wins. And a potential playoff berth.
Yep.
After that, all bets are off. But I think we can get 9 wins.
Yeah, I think 9 wins is doable. I think we're a playoff.
And that would be a huge success.
Yeah.
Because typically teams that go that far really decline the next year. 9 wins and a playoff berth would be amazing.
It's really the Houston Texans script, right? Because they did it 2 years ago, and then they barely squeaked in this past year. We could be in the same kind of deal, but it really depends on how good Adam Peters really is at rebuilding this team again. Because it was a rebuild last year, it's got to be a rebuild again this year with how much it is. So it really,
that, right?
How well do we play it?
And then not only that, right? We're looking at a conference that we're in where the Cowboys are still trying to figure it out, right? The Eagles are going to be the Eagles next year, competitive as hell. May win the conference again.
Yeah, they're going to be competitive.
Now, only thing the Giants needed up there, their defense is solid. Only thing they need is a quarterback, and they may either draft one or Aaron Rodgers may go there. Even a declining Aaron Rodgers with Malik Neighbors and then bringing another receiver in.
I heard Rodgers is going to the Titans.
At this stage in his career, no, absolutely not.
I heard they're bringing him on a 1-year deal, train up the next boy, and let's go. That's what I heard. I'm just saying that's what.
Who are they going to train up? They have drafted rookie quarterback. They have Malik Willis, Will Levis. Like, who is he going to train up?
Levis.
Nah,
Levis
man.
going to be the number 2. Rodgers the number 1. I don't know. I don't know. I'm just telling you what I hear.
And Malik Willis not even there anymore. He's in Green Bay.
Yeah. It's Levis. It's
all right. So another one that we have here is Adam Peters has come on out, and you're gonna love this one, Shaq. Yep. Saying there's a high chance we're keeping Marshawn Lattimore.
Of course he is.
And I got the video to prove it, and I brought this just for you, Shaq. Hold on, let's watch it together.
Overpaid St. Jude's.
Really with Marshawn, I spoke about it at the end of the year, and he came into a tough situation, and he competed his ass off, his tail off, and he's the type of guy we want on the field, and we're really excited to have him in this offseason and build with him.
Can you try?
He's done.
That was a politically correct answer. If the price is right, if he can get draft capital, or money from Marshawn Lattimore, he's out of here. That was a PC answer. That was a PC answer.
They're keeping Marshawn. They believe in Marshawn. They're keeping him. I disagree with you, Shaq. He is done.
Overpaid St. Jude's. That's overpaid St. Jude's. I'm telling you right now.
Agreed. But he's still a commander. He ain't going nowhere.
I would love to slash his salary in half.
Yes, restructure it.
Restructure it, but that restructuring usually means a player ends up getting more money in the long run. And I don't want to be married to him that long. But anyway, I got some typo stuff going on in here, but we already talked about Deebo Samuel, so we don't need to do that. Even though Adam Peters is going to be active, I don't see him making major trades this year. I just really don't. He didn't do it last year except for the Marshawn Lattimore trade, which happened during the season.
That was a big one.
And it was a big move, but he didn't give up barely anything for it. Everybody talked about he gave up so much, but it was good. And so look for him mostly probably re-sign our own players. I'm waiting for that to heat up in the coming week.
We're going to re-sign or sign one huge deal this year.
Look, I'm gonna tell you, if we keep anybody on defense that we're going to pay, it's gonna be Jeremy Chin.
It is. And
it's gonna be Jeremy Chin.
I agree.
And he's gonna cost some money too, because he's earned it. He's gonna get his payday. He's at that sweet spot where they're looking for that payday.
Yeah,
and he's gonna get it. And
agree.
And we're talking like $15 million a year, somewhere in there.
So a 3-year, $45 million deal or something like that is probably not far-fetched at all. So, all right, so we have the NFL Combine schedule. We are actually well within the NFL Combine. Today is the 28th. I don't know when we're going to actually post this video, but obviously you've been looking at defensive backs and tight ends there, good old Shaq.
Defensive lineman.
By this coming Monday, they'll wrap things up and this thing will be over. But I included our team needs down there. Normally, when I put down team needs, a lot of teams will put the top 5. I went ahead and put the top 7 needs because we have more than just 5 needs on this team. Do you agree with the order? That's the question. So I'm going to start with Shaq first. Do you agree with the order that I have them up here?
I absolutely do. I absolutely. Defense wins championships, right? And we're going to get to my guy when we get to myself. We're going to get to my guy. But defensive end, and then we address that offensive line, which we can address in the draft. But free agency is heavy with them as well. I completely agree with this. I take that back. I would say wide receiver before cornerback, because right now, even with overpaid St. Jude's, we have Sanderstrill on the other side. So I mean, we have a solid foundation over there. So
the only 2 guys that we have on the roster though that are under contract.
Maybe we could bring Iganagmi back for a league veteran minimum. You know what I'm saying? And then we bargain shop some guys in free agency.
Okay. So what about you, Lard Sarge? You were shaking your head violently no, like you do not agree with this order. What order would you put it in?
Coach, I'm sorry, Coach. Listen. 9 times out of 10, you're correct. On this one,
He's going to see it today.
yeah, I don't see it.
But it's okay. Tell me
Number
what you
one
got.
for this team is offensive tackle. Period. The end. And
I thought we had the lost tackle. We already saw that.
And I'm training up a lot. I'm training up a guy who might make it, but we need an offensive tackle. The next thing we need, to be very frank, is a number 2 wide receiver.
But for a defensive end?
Yep.
Come on, man. Come on, Lars. I don't agree with you on that one.
Yep. Listen, we're gonna get a defensive end. We're gonna get somebody outside of 5. Listen, we'll get it. I'm talking about someone that we really need that's top end. Our defense got us all the way to the conference championship.
Where did we
fail? Where did we fail?
Were we watching the same Commanders team that was allowing all those points? We wasn't watching the same Commanders team.
Yeah, we outscored the opposition. We need an offensive tackle to secure Daniels. If Daniels gets hurt, all bets are off.
How many points?
The Eagles scored at will against us.
They did. How many points did we put up?
We scored against them too.
And now hear me out. How many points did we put up against Tampa Bay in the playoffs?
I forgot. 28.
We put up more than that, right? 30 plus, right? So, but the defense allowed how many?
Too many.
We played Detroit. We kind of had a hold on them, right? How many points we put up? We put up a lot.
Destroyed.
We outscored.
Please don't remind me.
It was not the defense.
I don't want to hear how we destroyed Detroit. Please.
Now hear me out. It wasn't the defense. We outscored them because they were scoring every time we scored. They scored.
Yeah.
It wasn't the defense. It was the offense. We outscored them.
Yeah, we outscored them.
And then what happened when we stopped?
We're still weak.
And what happened?
Strength is our offense.
Hear me.
Championships, I agree, but we needed an offensive tackle first.
Now hear me out. What happened in the championship? What happened in the NFC Championship when our offense was not producing? What happened? The defense could not stop nothing. They couldn't stop nothing.
was that the line or the ends or the corner?
The turnovers didn't have
the secondary or the line.
It was the turnovers
on
the opposite side
of the ball. Give you the scores again.
Yeah.
All right, guys. Let me give you the scores again. So when we were playing Detroit, and I was at that game. I was at the Bucks game in Tampa. All right, we beat them 23-20. That was that field goal that kind of doinked on in.
Yeah.
By Gonzalez. Right. Then we went on to play the Lions, and we beat the Lions 45-31. All right. And then we got destroyed by the Eagles 55-23.
Yep. You know why? Defense couldn't stop nobody. And we
also destroyed in the Super Bowl.
We got lucky in that Tampa Bay game. I forgot that was a low score game. I was thinking about something else.
No, it was a close game.
Yeah. I forgot about that. Yep.
I'm just saying. Our number one needs offensive tackle. Period. The end. Jaden Daniels is not Jaden Daniels without protection. Period. Number 2.
Brandon Coleman.
He needs a number 2.
So
I'm going to go for defensive end.
So I got it on the second one. Right. So like I think the only where Shaq and I disagree was number 3 and number 4. You'd flip wide receiver and corner.
Yeah.
The rest of it you kind of agree with. Yeah. Large Sarge, you're out there a little bit because
Lattimore's a lock. He's going to show up this year. He's going to be trained and he's going to be healthy. Our secondary is locked. I don't think that need is quite as heavy. Huh?
We only got 2 guys. How is that a lot?
Like, what you talking about?
We gotta bring some guys in, man. We can't play.
We're gonna bring guys in. You know where I would even argue that you got running back number 5. Running back needs number 3 or 4.
We still have Eckler and we still have Robinson. I mean, we do need to bring another guy in, but like I wouldn't put it as a higher need than wide receiver, corner, offensive tackle, or defensive end.
And look, and I'm gonna tell you why. I got what receiver you trying to move it up in the skill position up. We got Terry McLaurin in the 5th round.
It's true.
What is that? What did you say?
We drafted Terry McLaurin in the 5th round.
Yeah.
So I mean, you know what I mean?
There's some wide receivers that are out there.
But Shaq, you've been crying all year that we need a number 2.
We do.
Johnny Brown's not good. The other Brown's not good. Blah, blah. You've been crying the entire freaking year.
And we
got a wide receiver at number 4.
But we're gonna address that in the offseason, right? Whether it be the draft or free agency. But I don't think its highest priority is defensive end and offensive tackle.
We'll see in the combine on Saturday.
This is good heated debate. I love it. So let's talk about this one here, because then we're going to get to Shaq's pick. I showed this slide last week. All right, this was NFL.com's mocks of who they think we would take in the 1st round. And guess what? Somebody agrees with you there, good old Shaq.
Yeah. Now I'm gonna tell you right now. I got Jahan Campbell on my list as well. As like if he's still on the board, we're gonna take him. I still have him on my list, but I'm gonna tell you right now, after watching him perform, he is not gonna be around past 15.
Yeah, he's gonna go much earlier.
He's gonna go way early.
We need Felice.
Well, while we're at it, let's get to your thing, because you had James Pierce on there as your number 1 pick. If he's there, that's who we're taking, huh?
And listen, I loud and clear, I am letting you know. And hear me out. If James Pierce is on the board when they get to pick number 29, that's our guy. The man ran a 4.45. His vertical jump wasn't that good, but his broad jump was phenomenal. His drills were phenomenal. The fastest ones out there. He did a 4.45 40. And this class is loaded with defensive linemen. When I say this class is
good.
Yes, this class is loaded with defensive linemen. When I say the defensive lineman average speed was faster than the tight ends and the defensive backs so far. That's crazy. It's insane. I've been sitting here watching the tight ends.
That's insane, dude.
Listen, the linebackers haven't been performing that well, right? With speed and stuff like that, speed, agility, stuff like that. The defensive tackles, the defensive ends showed up like, hey man, we're trying to get drafted, right?
Yeah.
But this is our guy. James, there are other guys that's on the list, but I'm gonna tell you right now, he's our guy. Do we need to put on a little weight? Yes, he does, right?
Why? If you're that fast.
We had the same problem with Chase Young. So
yeah.
So
he did a little bit of beef to be physical.
Young was strong though.
He's
lazy. That was his problem. He's lazy.
Well, yeah. But
I have to give you a mad prop, Shaq, for your hail to the Redskins kind of thing. Keeping it alive, even though Josh Harris won't want it back.
Yeah.
There's a whole lot of fans out there. We want it back, baby.
Now I can tell you this, right? Now with that, other guys to watch, right? Jack Sawyer from Ohio State. Jack Sawyer, he looked good at the combine, right? But he is not going to be if we miss our guy in the 1st round. Say we miss defensive end in the 1st round, right? Jack Sawyer is going to be around the 2nd, 3rd, right? He's going to be around in those rounds. So it's something that we may want to get. If we draft the offensive tackle or receiver in the 1st round, Jack Sawyer is going to be around. For Dio Diggs from Syracuse is going to be around. He looked good yesterday. He looked good, right?
I really hope we don't sign a wide receiver in the 1st round.
No, that would be.
Don't do that. It needs to be a offensive tackle or a defensive end.
Yes, and I'm telling you right now,
100%.
I'm telling you, watching the combine yesterday, this is our guy. James Pierce is our guy. Now there is a guy, high energy. He had the size, had the speed on the defensive line that I feel like we could pick up because he's flying under the radar. That I feel like we could pick up later on in the draft. His name is Ahmed Hassanin, right? Ahmed Hassanin. Remember that name? Yeah, I said that.
You got it on your slide here.
Yep,
Ahmed Hassanin.
Yeah. Now,
Ahmed Hassanin.
Yes, he was very high energy. Very high energy. He was out there ready to ball. You know what I'm saying? Did he put up the greatest numbers on the 40? No. But on the agility drills And we talk about this man playing either on the ends or the middle of the field. Like the man was all there, right?
Ooh.
Now I'm gonna tell you some other guys to watch for.
Good old Shaq's the scout.
Like, man, listen, I'm telling you, because I watch the cornerbacks, the defensive backs. I watch the tight ends. I'm watching the tight ends on the screen right now. The tight ends, I'm like, man, what's going on? Like, you know what I'm saying? But
not there, right? Not there.
It's not gonna be a good class for them. After Tyler Warren, that's gonna be it, right? So these guys are we're talking about 4th, 5th, 6th round guys for the tight end position. Now, I had Jahan Campbell on my list, right? As people that we should, besides the guys, like if we miss James Pierce, the top 2 guys, the guys that I think we should look. Landon Jackson is another one. Landon Jackson from Arkansas. Man, he got alopecia. He looked all bald and scary with no facial hair. But that man was out there. He was doing his thing. You know what I'm saying? So,
oh my God, Chuck, you're crazy.
I'm telling you, he looks scary, man. Like, but Ahmed Hassanin, right, later on down the draft pick. Landon Johnson, is one of the guys that I just said, right? Landon Johnson had the speed. He had the like everything about him just looked like he's gonna be in the league for a while, right?
Okay.
Jahan Campbell had to scratch him off because he'll be gone. Mason Graham looked good. Mason Graham is another defensive tackle, defensive lineman that looked good. Really good.
Because I'm not familiar with that name. Where's he coming?
I think Mason Graham was I think he was Iowa. I have to double check and see. Don't quote me on that.
Because I'm not following him. So
yeah, Mason Graham.
Okay, Mason Graham. I need to write that one down.
Yep, Mason Graham. Right now, defensive backs. They are 2 guys that are flying under the radar. They're not gonna be first round picks. They're not gonna be first round picks by any means. And 3 guys I'm gonna give you, right? I don't think none of these guys will be first round picks. Jalen Reed, he may squeak into the first round. Jalen Reed from Penn State.
I like Penn State boys.
Yeah, the Penn State, right? So he had a good year this year. Jalen Reed had a good year this year. Interception wise, pass breakup wise, stuff like that. I think he would be a phenomenal 3rd round pick, 4th round pick, somewhere around there, if he's still on the board, right? This guy, I know he's not going in the first round. He's not going to go in the first round. I don't think he's going to go in the first 4 rounds. So he may still be around.
Like a 5th round pick.
Somewhere in there, between 3 and 5, somewhere in there. Dante Trader Jr. from University of Maryland. He had a good year this year. He looked good at the combine. Speed was there, everything. He's one of those guys that would come on the team, start out on special teams, and once he get his chance, he's going to break through. Right? So Dante Trader Jr. from University of Maryland. So these are names that you hear me saying. Keep an eye out for. And then I'm gonna go with this guy. He had 7 sacks, but he had 160 tackles, ungodly number of tackles for a defensive back, right? So my bad. 7 interceptions, 137 tackles.
137 tackles?
Yeah, I got the stat right here.
Is he the only player on the field?
And listen, 7 interceptions, 137 tackles.
Oh, he was everywhere.
Everywhere.
Where? Who? What?
I give y'all one guess of where he went.
No idea.
7 interceptions, 137 tackles. The man went to the Naval Academy. He got invited to the combine from the Naval Academy. Rayon Lane III from Navy.
From Navy?
He ain't gonna play no football. They're gonna throw him in a sub.
Yeah.
I love to see a Navy guy get it.
Listen, Rayon Lane. Hopefully, I'm saying his name right. Rayon Lane III from Navy. 7 interceptions, 137 tackles. That man, and he looked good. He wasn't the fastest guy on the field. He wasn't the biggest guy on the field.
But he was in the game.
But that man knows how to play football. They were showing clips of him today. I was like, damn, he was doing this at Navy, and he wasn't doing it just against the mediocre competition. When they played people, he was on the field balling out.
Yeah,
balling out.
Wow.
Because when they play against the Army, when they play against Army or an Air Force, those aren't passing games.
No, yes.
Those are all veer running kind of games. So the only time you can get 7 picks is if you're going up against a passing team that's up there.
7 picks, man. 7 picks.
Position? What's his position?
Cornerback. Yep. 7 interceptions, 137 tackles.
137 tackles?
137 tackles, man.
That dude was everywhere, man.
He was everywhere. So Rayon Lane III.
A quarterback with 100 and what?
Hey, listen, I'm telling you, keep an eye on him. Keep an eye on him. If he doesn't,
that guy's got commander written all over him.
Listen, he's a good news story. Not only that, with all of us being military guys, he's a good news story. I was happy to see a Navy guy at the combine because this hasn't happened since the quarterback from Navy. So it felt good. It felt good to see a Navy guy, and the way he was competing, showing that he belonged, was everything. That's the kind of fight that we need in DC.
Yeah.
That's the kind of fight that we need. He can come right down the street from Annapolis down here to DC.
Call.
Even
That's
if he's a
great call.
Yes, Rayon Lane III from Navy.
All right, so what I think we're going to do in a future show here in the near future is we are going to lay out positions and we're going to lay out draft prospects for it so we can deep dive these a little bit together because here in the coming months, we're going to do our own mock draft.
Yep.
We did it last year. We're going to do it again this year. And we have pride here at Football Psych because we beat the freaking pants off of everybody that was out there. Yep. There was nobody else that beat my mock draft. There was nobody else who beat it. There wasn't NFL Network. There wasn't NFL.com, which I think there wasn't friggin' Mel Kiper. He didn't freaking do it. There was nobody else. Freaking none of Fox, ABC, NBC. Nobody else beat my mock draft. So, like, we got to back it up again this year. So we get at least 2 more subscribers.
Yeah.
All right. So one of the first round things that came up here talking about Mel Kiper was he thought he went with somebody completely off the radar. Cornerback Maxwell Hairston. You've been watching these guys. Has he come on the radar to you there, Shaq?
No.
Mel
not at all. He looked good, but again, we've had bad experiences with Kentucky players.
Yep.
Jamin Davis.
I ain't feeling this one either. Mel Kiper, I'm not a Mel Kiper fan. I always beat him in everything.
Yep.
So, like, Mel Kiper, I know you're watching this show, I'm going to beat your butt again this year, too, because I guarantee you this is not the pick.
So
then we're going out here. We're talking, like, this is going to be a speed drill. I'm going to have fun with you guys. I'm going to start off with Large Sarge. I'm going to have you go through this thing quickly and tell me these are all bargain shopping guys. You see their age. You see what team that they are. I want yes or no whether or not you think they're coming to Washington. So let's go with the speed drill here. Large Sarge, ready. Amari Cooper,
no. Diggs, yes. Stanley, no. Riddick, maybe. Aaron Jones, no.
Not a thing. Yes or no?
Chase Young would be a joke, but a yes.
Yes.
Coming back, baby. Marquise Brown, maybe. DeMarcus Lawrence, no. Asante Samuel, no.
So, Hassan Reddick, you said maybe. I need a yes or no.
No, yeah. Come on, Lance. Are you cheating, man?
No.
Yes, no. Okay, you say no, but you say yes for Chase Young? Oh, my goodness, man. Woo! All right. Let's hear it, Shaq. Go down the list.
Man. Now, here we go right here. Amari Cooper, yes. Stephon Diggs, no. Ron Stanley, yes. Hassan Reddick, yes. Aaron Jones, no. Chase Young, yes. Bring him back because he went. Yes, because he went to New Orleans in this season. He beefed up and he wasn't taking plays off like he was when he was here and in San Francisco.
Thank you.
Yes. So Chase Young, yes, he's still young and still got his motor. Marquise Brown, yes. DeMarcus Lawrence, no. Asante Samuel, as bad as I want to say no, yes.
What?
Bad as I want to say no.
All right, hear me. Here I go. Amari Cooper, yes. Stephon Diggs, no. Ronnie Stanley, oh, hell yes. That is a definite must. That would be our starting left tackle right there.
Yep.
And I would move Brandon Coleman to the right side.
Yep.
Hassan Reddick, absolutely. Aaron Jones, nope. Chase Young? Oh, heck no. Marquise Brown? No. DeMarcus Lawrence? No. Asante Samuel? Yes. I think Asante is the guy you add to this DB core.
So now let's discuss this Marquise Brown thing, right? So Marquise Hollywood Brown, right?
Brown.
We're talking about Hollywood Brown. He will be a superior number 3.
Yeah.
He will be a superior number 3.
He would if we he would be a
superior number 3. Yeah. And we bring in Amari Cooper and Hollywood Brown. I think we'd be okay. We bring back
it would address the question in the air.
Yep. And we draft a guy and maybe hold on to De'Ami Brown.
Yeah, De'Ami for sure.
Yeah.
Yep. So I'm just saying, and then that would give De'Ami Brown something to sweat about. Like, hey, no, you got to compete to stay out here now.
Coach, I'm throwing this back to you. What the hell are you talking about, Hassan Reddick?
Oh my goodness, Hassan Reddick, he's going to be a cheap bargain thing, and that guy's a baller, man. He would do freaking great, I think, in Washington.
I said yes to him too. He won't. No, I'm not. No,
you think we can get him? You think we can get him, Coach?
Yeah, he'll be relative. I mean, he's not cheap, but like when it comes to like his skill set, he'll probably come to about 12 to
add to the team. Yes, can we? Is it a deal that we can get? No.
Yes. He's a free agent. These are all free agents.
So with him, it's gonna be like 2 years, $22 million, something like that. Something like that.
We can do that. I think we can do that.
Yeah, it's gonna be somewhere around there.
Doing greatly with Washington.
Yep, it's gonna be somewhere around there.
That would be major with Wagner and Riddick.
Yeah, I'm telling you, it's gonna be somewhere like that.
You still got Luvu.
Yep.
Well, like you got a true 4-3 that you can have with those guys on the field. It'd be like nasty.
Yeah, that would be pretty insane. I agree.
Yep. And only reason I said bring Chase Young back because Chase Young is not small Chase Young no more.
No, exactly.
He is not small Chase Young no more. And he being traded and cut and moved from team to team to team. I think he finally learned his lesson.
Yes, he did. I agree 100%.
So I'm glad that y'all are on that one. I'm still gonna say no because like he burned a bridge with me. Like I saw him when he left Washington, and he had a chance and went to a Super Bowl. And when I saw him take way too many plays off. And I pointed out to Large Sarge. We had many discussions about Chase Young.
I agree 100%.
And then when he even went to New Orleans, he went to New Orleans on a 1-year prove-it deal. I don't believe he proved it.
I believe he did. I believe I saw him.
Because if he did, New Orleans would be out there going like, hey, we got to re-sign this guy. I'm not sure New Orleans is really, we'll see. I'll be surprised if New Orleans thought highly enough of him that they're going to re-sign him before he hits free agency.
Coach, in San Francisco, he was a bust. Like he had his chance, and his just motor, he just quit on every play.
Yeah, and I'm
talking like you did. You called it out. I watched it. I was like, "That gum if coach isn't right, this guy is a complete bust." But
he's sour
this year, when I watched him play, he decided he actually wanted to play football.
It's because he was almost out of the league.
Yep.
He got desperate.
That might come back to a team that has a chance to win for him to say, okay, I'm going to motor.
But I only picked 4 players off of this list. And that's Amari Cooper, Ronnie Stanley, Hassan Reddick, and Asante Samuel.
I'm still mad. I'm still mad about that pick because I kept telling everybody. I posted this on my Facebook. I wish I could go back. Matter of fact, on draft day, it's going to pop up in my reminders. I was like, this dude is a bust. I don't know. We picked him. We could have got our franchise quarterback in that draft.
That's right.
I said, why did we draft him? I said it. I posted it. I said, this dude's going to be a bust. And he, like a first round draft pick, top 3, and he's already on this 3rd team, about to be on his 4th team.
Gentlemen, why can't we get Asante Samuel?
We should be. We should. Well, the thing is he just finished his rookie deal with the Chargers. So like, and the Chargers may re-sign him. I don't know what Jim Harbaugh is going to do. He has free agency. Because of his youth, and he is a very, very dynamic kind of player. He's gonna command some money, but he shouldn't break the bank for any particular team. So like he's kind of in a sweet spot. Yeah, he's kind of in that sweet spot that will make a lot of general managers go like, ooh, let me look at this guy, right? Because he's just right there. He's got the right age, coming out of off the rookie deal, but he's not going to break your bank.
He's a key hire for us if we can get it. If we can get a deal done, that's a key hire. My opinion.
Yeah, but there's going to be a lot of teams that are going to be, like, I would probably say a dozen teams are going to be looking at it.
Yeah, for sure.
So,
boy, okay.
We need to do the speed drill more often.
You like the speed drill?
I like the speed drill. I love the speed drill.
All right.
Speed drill.
I will develop more speed drills. I will develop more speed drills. Oh, I love it. Okay. So I got something everybody likes. All right. So I kind of put this slide back up here because, Lord Sergeant and I, we're going on a cruise next week. We filmed this one because there will be no live stream this particular week. When you come back, Lord Sergeant, it's going to be you and good old Shaq filming. You guys are going to have to work that logistics out because I will still be gone. And that's when you guys are doing it, you are coming right up to where free agency begins. I'm going to actually miss the beginning of free agency when it pops out. So when I come back, I'm going to be like salivating at the mouth of like, who did we sign? What are we doing?
Yeah.
I don't have no hair, but probably some of it will still be pulled out. But like, it will be like, oh my goodness, I'm going to be ready to get back to it, guys. But
yep. As a matter of fact, since we were talking about Chase Young taking players off, you know who else did that? It didn't last long in the league. He got a whole bunch of free money. Jadeveon Clowney.
Yep.
Yeah.
Sure did.
Clowney did. Yeah. Clowney, he followed Clowney's footprint.
Yeah.
All right, guys. Well, that is our show for tonight. This is Football Psych, baby, and we are out of here. Peace.
Hell.